I think that the game that you're talking about is a game that took place on the 1st of October, so maybe 7 or even 8 months ago now. There were huge differences. I have reviewed the game from the beginning of October, and I've seen how far our team has come as well. I think we're better now than we showed at the beginning of the competition. I'd also like to remind you that in the league, we had the most intense group phases within the Champions League, and now we're in the semi-final. During the pools, we played games that could have been the Champions League finals. This is something that for us that didn't put us in a good position after the group stages, but actually it was a positive experience because it meant that we had to pull our socks up, we had to kick things up a notch, and we had to take risks. There were sticky situations, but now we are a team that is very complete, and we are once again in the semi-final of the Champions League, and our next objective is to rewrite history, and for us there is only one way to do that. Thank you very much. So you've only won one of your last 4 matches. Is this something that is an issue for you, or is this something that is maybe a challenge?
Donc non, ça montre un peu le climat positif qui nous entoure, mais non, pas du tout inquiet, absolument pas.
Bonjour, je suis Fabrice Hawkins, c'est BeanymanSports. Est-ce que vous parliez tout à l'heure du match de phase de groupe
Against Arsenal, do you think that this is now the strongest team that you've ever had to come up against? Or you also spoke about managing the highs and the lows that will be important tomorrow. How important will Vitinhan be for the game tomorrow?
¿Qué jugador va a ser importante? ¿Quién sabe qué jugador va a ser el importante del Arsenal o del Paris Saint-Germain? Es evidente que todos tenemos... Creo que nos parecemos en cierta parte porque Arsenal, el equipo de Arsenal está formado de una manera global, conjunta, con una fuerza grupal que tú percibes claramente, la manera en la que atacan, la manera en la que defienden, todos juntos, no hay... evidentemente hay individualidades de alto nivel, como nosotros, pero, repito, no dependen de un solo jugador. Y han tenido bajas a lo largo de la temporada y han seguido rindiendo bien, con lo cual creo que en ese sentido somos dos equipos que nos parecemos. ¿Y qué más me ha preguntado? Ahora se me ha ido.
Vitinha, si es el equipo más fuerte que hayas visto en toda la...
Es muy difícil hablar de qué equipo es más fuerte. Es uno de los más fuertes sin ninguna duda, es uno de los mejores equipos ingleses, segundo en su campeonato, a lo largo de estas 3 o 4 temporadas ha sido siempre segundo, o sea, disputando una liga como la Premier, pero valorar si es el más fuerte, el menos fuerte, ¿quién lo sabe? Eso es muy difícil de afirmarlo, que es uno de los mejores equipos de Europa, es evidente, como creo que es nuestro caso.
I think that all players are important within a squad. So who's the best or who's the most important Arsenal player? Who's the most important PSG player? No one knows what will happen tomorrow. But I think that Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal are actually very similar teams. Arsenal is made up of very comprehensive players. We can see that they're really strong as a squad. They're able to attack, they're able to defend, and everyone gets stuck in together. Obviously, we've got individual characters as well, but you've got the same thing within PSG as well. But there isn't one player that we depend on. They've had players that have been missing from the squad over the course of the season, and things have gone well for them, the same for us. And then, is Arsenal the best team that we've come up against? It's very difficult to say which is the best team. One of the best teams, yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. They're the second of the Premier League at the moment, and this has been the case for maybe the last 3 or 4 seasons they're playing in the Premier League. But I don't know whether it is the best team, but it is certainly one of the best teams, so are we.
Luis Enrique pour France Télévisions.
France Télévisions, you're in the semi-final of the Champions League now. We've got a home leg and an away leg. So 6 games, 6 defeats. You were talking about the fact that you want to rewrite history with PSG. What is the mindset within your team at the moment?
Que ha habido en semifinal en 6 partidos ida y vuelta, 6 derrotas. Y esto impacta de alguna forma, pero ¿cuál es el estado de ánimo?
Otro dato positivo, ¿eh?
Une autre information positive.
Nadie habla de los goles ni de lo que
Personne ne parle des...
So no one's talking about the goals or the games that we've won. Let's talk about our defeats, that's fine.
Dice corcho en Francia.
Un bouchon de Liège.
¿Un bouchon de qué?
De Liège.
De Liège. Podéis tirar datos negativos, que yo tengo datos positivos para darle a todos. El estado de ánimo es excepcional, como el mío. Yo soy el más triste de todo mi equipo. O sea, imaginaros cómo están mis jugadores.
Donc je suis comme
I am. You can send everything you want. You can send everything my way. Our mindset is wonderful, and the most unhappy or sad of the whole squad is me. So just imagine what the others are doing. You have been joking a little bit. You keep joking around the climate and the way that the media treat PSG. Do you really think that there's a lot of negativity around PSG? And do you think that this because do you really think that we criticize you a lot?
Puede ser que esté equivocado. Yo no hablo del clima alrededor del equipo, de los aficionados, de la gente que trabajamos en el club. Eso es todo positivo. Hablo de vuestras preguntas. Preguntas pues siempre con el dato negativo. Pues sí, esto lo percibo. Es así. Puedo estar equivocado. No lo creo, la verdad.
j'apporte une petite
So let me just specify, maybe I'm getting things wrong, but when I'm talking about the negative climate, I'm not talking about the fans or the staff within the club, but yeah, with the questions coming from the media, yeah, and even the questions that the journalists ask me, I think it is very negative, but maybe that's just me. I'm from RMC. Can you maybe talk us through how Désiré Doué is doing before the important fixture tomorrow on the 1st of October? We asked you about set pieces because that's one of Arsenal's strengths. It's still one of Arsenal's strengths. Have you changed your mind? Do you think it's something that you need to work on as well?
El estado de forma de Doué es igual que el de los demás compañeros. Están todos los jugadores disponibles.
Donc pour l'état de forme de Doué, c'est comme tous les autres.
In terms of Doué, same thing as everyone. Everyone's fit and ready to play.
O importantes, solo faltaría. ¿O crees que me siento aquí porque me han regalado el carnet de entrenador?
Donc on travaille.
We're obviously working on all of the aspects of the game because, obviously, how do you think I got my license to be a coach without working on everything? What are the lessons that you learnt from the previous games, and what are you going to be able to apply tomorrow for the match against Arsenal?
Es difícil comparar semifinales. Es evidente que son partidos que marcan, pero creo que hay poca comparación. De hecho, sí que repetimos que vamos a jugar el primer partido fuera de casa, pero repito, dos rivales totalmente diferentes. Complicado hacer comparaciones. Pero estamos en el momento parecido al de la temporada pasada y queremos dar un paso más.
C'est difficile.
It's quite difficult for me to compare different semi-finals, if I'm being honest. That they're games that leave their mark, but we're going to start by playing a game where it's an away game for us, but once again, there are two very different opponents that will be on the pitch tomorrow. However, we're finding ourselves in a very similar moment to last season. Our objective this time is to go one step further than last time.
Bonjour, c'est Hugo Delon du journal d'équipe. À l'instant,
Vitinha just said that his performance wasn't as good as it usually is at the moment. So that's him being quite critical of his own performances. Do you think the same? Do you think that his performance at the moment is not as good as previously? And if so, why?
¿Su rendimiento menor cuándo?
Él lo dijo justo antes, últimamente.
¿Pero cuándo?
¿A quel moment?
When was he talking about his performances that have dropped? How many games? What games? He was talking about last week.
No lo dijo, pero en las últimas semanas.
Bueno, si lo ha dicho Vitinha, perfecto. Mi opinión es, creo que ser exigente es importante. Todos los jugadores del Paris Saint-Germain lo tienen que ser. Yo soy exigente con ellos, pero creo que el nivel mostrado por Vitinha y por el resto del equipo es un nivel alto.
If that's what he said, then so be it. Okay, that's how he wants to express himself. We're demanding towards all of the PSG players. They're demanding with themselves. I'm demanding with them. But Vitinha and all of the players have a very high level of play. You've often said that this type of game shouldn't be played at 150 but 100%, and recently You spoke about striking that balance between the French Championship and the Champions League, and how do you find that balance?
Bueno, es complicado, es evidente que nuestro objetivo es un objetivo complicado y difícil, exigente, pero el límite de verse apretado por ese objetivo, creo que en nuestro caso lo estamos gestionando bien. Somos un equipo ambicioso que quiere hacer historia, y para hacer historia hay que hacer algo que no haya hecho alguien anteriormente, con lo cual creo que es bonita esa presión, creo y espero que no nos afecte, y cada vez que veo competir a mi equipo, y especialmente estas últimas semanas en el escenario en el que nosotros hemos competido, a mí el equipo me ha dado confianza, me ha mostrado que tiene personalidad, ambición. Hay veces que uno no puede estar tan brillante como habitualmente, pero eso forma parte del día a día, y en ese sentido creo que lo que percibo, y además lo percibo claramente porque yo no soy de pasear, pero estos días que he tenido descanso he ido a pasear por París, y lo que nos rodea es algo maravilloso, lo que la gente, y nadie te pide que ganes la Champions League, no te piden que la ganes, están disfrutando, tienen ganas de que hagamos historia, nosotros también, y eso es una motivación. Creo que Arsenal tampoco ha ganado ninguna Champions, ¿verdad? Pues uno de los dos equipos estará en la final con posibilidades de ganarla. Espero que seamos nosotros, pero para eso hay que merecerlo.
No, wait, please.
Sorry. C'est évidemment.
Obviously, it's very difficult to strike that balance. The objective is quite difficult to achieve. For this, we need to be very demanding. I think that the pressure that isn't something that we're suffocating from. It's something that we're managing quite well. We're a team that is very ambitious. When we're talking about writing history or marking history, for us, it means going where no one's gone before. And I hope that this pressure is something that is going to feed into us in a positive way and not hurt us. When I look at my team and my squad and how we've been playing, I see that they're quite confident. They're demonstrating on the pitch just how ambitious they are. Obviously, there are times where we don't shine as much, but actually that's part and parcel of daily life. And what I've also seen, I'm not someone that but on my days off recently, I've gone out walking, and people are very positive when they come up to me in the streets, and they're not asking us to win in Paris. They're just asking us for a great trajectory in the Champions League. We have that motivation. We want to win, but I would like to remind you that Arsenal's not won either. Champions League before. One of us is going to win the home and away leg, and we'll get that ticket for the final of the Champions League and maybe take home the silverware, and I hope it will be PSG. Last question, please, for Luis Enrique.
But I think in terms of confidence, it's very positive for us, because we could won the match against Liverpool, and Liverpool won the Premier League this year, but doesn't mean anything, because every single match is different. I have to say that everybody speaks about the Premier League like the best league in the world. I don't know if I have to agree or not, but if I agree or not, but we are full of confidence. I'm looking forward to playing the semi-final.
Do you think it is?
It doesn't matter. I can say whatever, everybody's going to criticize me.
Merci.
Okay, merci.